Welcome back to my channel, and if this is your very first time, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid, and actually if you are brand new here, I would probably direct you to one of my other videos. Maybe you can check out a playlist, because today's video is going to be a little bit of a rant. But first of all, I'm going to give you a little bit of an update as far as the giveaway, the Pick Your Prize giveaway. And so this video is for that and why I'm ranting. I was hoping to announce the winner earlier, either Monday or Tuesday of this week. It is now Thursday, the 18th. But we've had some problems in the area where I live. I live in a suburb of Austin, Texas, in Central Texas in the U.S. And we are having some extreme weather that the state of Texas is not prepared for. We've been without electricity and without water for several days, because we've had some freezing temperatures and our infrastructure is not prepared to deal with it. So because some of our cell towers are frozen, I've been trying to scroll through the comments and try to get everybody's sun sign and moon sign written down so I can, start that process of picking a winner. But because of our Wi-Fi and our connections and everything being frozen, it's been hit and miss, and honestly, I'm just really frustrated with the way things are going now. As of today, since Monday, we've been dealing with rolling power outages as a way for our energy grid not to be overwhelmed. So what they're doing is that they're giving some people, a certain amount of people, some power at certain times, and then you have it taken away. So you don't know when you're going to have power, for how long you're going to have it. It's been very, very sketchy and intermittent. So yeah. So I'm on camera doing something I never thought I would do, going on au naturel. Now this, also without having electricity, we haven't had any water for several days. So, you think, yeah, I could throw some makeup on my face, but I don't have any water to wash it off. We have limited amount of bottled water, and I'm rationing it. Even rationing from drinking, I feel dehydrated because I'm saving it for cooking. We've been using melted snow. We've been melting snow to use water to flush our toilets and to wash our dishes. And I have a mountain of laundry and dirty dishes. And my husband and I, unwashed bodies. So it's been really, really pleasant. I'm very, very angry, because this is what happens when you have greedy politicians and people who don't care for their constituents. Now, if you don't know, and I know I have some viewers from overseas in different parts of the world, Texas, the state of Texas, which is very large, and they like to boast that they're the energy state of the U.S., with all the coal and the oil, and gas, the natural gas. And I believe in this state that renewable energies only consist of 10% of our energy resources. Texas has their own energy grid, their own power grid, which is not connected to any of the rest of the U.S. It's on its own because they did not want to be subjected to regulations from our federal government. Well, they didn't want to be held up to any standards. Greed, Yeah, greed. And because our government here in Texas, our state and local governments are largely Republican, and the gas and oil lobbyists have these politicians in their pockets. They contribute to their campaigns. Our two senators are two of the biggest recipients of campaign money from the oil and gas companies. So yeah, we are not subjected to the same standards as others in the state. There's no federal regulations for, you know, weatherization of instruments, of our windmills that we do have here in the state of Texas. So that's why we have all that we have, which is bad enough, right? It's bad enough. And this goes way back to the 30s, you know. Texas has always been very individualistic, and they rejected a lot of the things that FDR was implementing back in the 30s with the New Deal. And so that is part of where we are right now. That's bad enough. But when you have our government, our governor, the wonderful, not so wonderful, Greg Abbott, go on a conservative news channel, a major one, and this is what really makes me mad. And he blames it. He blames everything that's happened, everything that's happening here, as a failure by the Democrats and those who push the Green New Energy deal. Everything, he's blaming everybody else except him and his Republican government. Throw the blame all around. Spreading disinformation, saying this is what America would look like if we went to a Green New Deal. Hello, the Democrats are not in charge of Texas. The state legislature is Republican. Our senators are Republican. Our governor is Republican. This is a failure of greedy, selfish Republicans. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of qualms with the Democratic Party too. I am a Democrat, but I'm a progressive. I label myself as a progressive, and I have lots of issues with them too. But when you go on TV and you start spreading disinformation instead of accepting blame and responsibility for everything that's happened, that's when I can't take it anymore. They think people are stupid. I know a lot of you in other countries, Russia, you know, Norway, Denmark, Sweden, every place else has wind and other sources of renewable energy. Their windmills or your windmills are weatherized. So you don't have these things happen. And you have year after year even more extreme weather than we're having now. Now, this is Texas. We are not used to this. We've had temperatures in the single digits, and I think in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it's even gotten to like -2, which is unheard of here. It's, you know, whether or not you believe in climate change, you know, I do. Whether or not, doesn't matter. What does matter is the neglect of our leaders to take care of people. And then we have it reported that our wonderful Senator Ted Cruz, while all this is happening, he jets off with his family to Cancun in Mexico. Mexico is one of the few countries that will take Americans in because of our lousy, other countries won't let travelers go to their countries because of the way awful way we've handled the bug is running rampant here in this country. But Mexico is still letting Americans in because our tourism is a large part of their economy. But anyway, our wonderful senator is jet setting off to Cancun, and he got caught. And so he comes out with a statement, well, because of the outages, my daughters were out of school and they wanted to go to Mexico with friends. So I was just being a good dad. And I just took them there and came right back to handle and to get to the bottom of what's happening with Texas. I'm calling BS. I'm calling BS. Not to mention the statement that came out today or yesterday from our wonderful former governor and the former energy secretary under the ex-President Trump. Rick Perry's statement. It just makes me so angry. It's a long statement, and it's something to the extent that Texans would rather be without power and water for 3 days than to be under the thumb of a federal government. Really? So far that I know of, there's been 20 deaths directly because of what's happening. The freezing temperatures, the lack of water, people sleeping in their cars, running the gas and dying of carbon monoxide poisoning, car accidents on the road, lots of shit happening. It's when we do have some power, we have the news on. Last night I heard a really sad story of this woman in McAllen, Texas, which is really close to the Texas-Mexico border. She has 3 children with diabetes, and talking about because of the power outages, they've lost so much insulin. The fact that they've even contemplated going across the border to stay in a hotel, but the hotels are all full because everybody else got the same idea before them. It just really brings down my faith in humanity. I don't know. I mean, who's looking out for the people? Who's looking out for the people? So I don't care what party is in charge. You know, starting at the state and local levels, you need to look out for your constituents instead of playing politics. It makes my heart sick. It makes me so angry. And it's really sad. What you're seeing here, and I know there are so many people who are so much worse off than me and my husband. There are people truly suffering. I think what we're experiencing here is the tip of the iceberg. But, you know, we have minimal food. We haven't been able to get food. The supermarkets here have been running on limited hours. My husband tried to get food a couple of days ago and experienced mega long lines just to pick up a few groceries. Yeah, 1 hour to 2 hours in line. He waited at the checkout and, you know, just trying to find something, you know, a couple of cans of soup, a bag of pancake mix. The shelves are empty. We've got a little bit, but we're rationing because, you know, we don't want to go out to the store and wait in lines where the bug is running rampant. You don't want to be in that situation. One good thing I did hear about our local supermarket, the one that we go to, there were lines and lines of people, and the power went out, and they just let the people go with their groceries, which I think was the right thing to do. They didn't, you know, of course they couldn't pay. They didn't make them leave their groceries after waiting in line. They let the people leave with their groceries. I wish that was when we were there, but but you know, good for them. Good for them. Somebody doing the right thing. So yeah, my husband just told me, you know, he's been looking on the websites, and they said, you know, there's gonna be a small trickle of water coming, but we could be without normal water for the next week. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna get to shower again. I think we're gonna have to go into further downtown to try to find some water. I know my son, who's a student at UT Austin, he lives in downtown Austin, and the house that he's living in with his roommates hasn't had the rolling power outages that most people have, because he's right next to a huge hospital over there. So they're not, you know, if you live around a certain area within a hospital or like a fire station or someplace like that, you're not going to get hit, because they don't want those kind of places being without power. So he's been lucky, but he did say he had a pipe burst, so that's affecting their water situation. It's crazy. And this is the United States of America. Yeah. We are lucky in being in Central Texas that we don't get the hard-hitting effects of the hurricanes, as, you know, places like Houston and some of the coastal areas of Texas do. I mean, we get hard rain, but we don't get the hurricane effects and the major damage. But this is hitting the whole state of Texas. And it is crazy. So yeah, I'm sorry for the rant. I just, excuse me, I just think that if you're in the US, and even, I don't know how things are in, excuse me, other countries, but you gotta start holding your officials accountable. The weather is affecting other places that don't usually get hit hard with winters in the South, and it's affecting everybody. But as far as the power and the water outages, that we're experiencing here in Texas, it's due to neglect and greed, and there's no two ways about it. And I would be complaining and speaking out if the state, if it was the greed and neglect of a Democratic government. It doesn't matter who's in charge. You screwed up here in Texas. You screwed up, and the people are paying the price. I don't know. I'm sorry if this is a rambly video. So I am going to be working on the giveaway. I haven't forgotten about it. I really want to get this done. Hopefully this weekend, by Sunday, I will get the announcement video on. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to draw cards. I'm going to film me drawing some cards and picking, I'll use one deck for the sun sign, one deck for the moon sign. I'm really excited about that. And that'll probably be the good thing for this really, really stressful week. So I apologize. I haven't forgotten. It's just things have been really crazy. So thank you. Thank you for sticking with me and sticking with this rambly video and my rant. And yeah, I'm sorry, but this is real, you guys. This is real. And hopefully my next video is going to be more upbeat and more on a positive note. So with that, I hope you are staying warm and having the best of days. And I will be back with you really soon. Bye for now.